guys, so today's video is all about board games. It's a gift guide for anybody in your life who loves board games. I am definitely one of those people. I'm an avid board game player. I've been playing board games my entire life and I play them usually at least once a week. So I put together this little gift guide for anyone who really likes board games. I have 5 different games that I think cover a good range of people that don't really play a lot to people that play a lot. And yeah, I'm going to let you guys know about them now. First one is really fun. It's called Telus Regions. This is the original one. You can get different versions of it. I play this with my friends a lot. It's a lot of fun. If you're familiar with the game Telephone, where you like whisper in someone's ear like a phrase and then the next person whispers in the next ear and you're supposed to try to keep the phrase the same, the whole like circle of people. This is basically it, but it's drawing. So I'll just show you the basics. It comes with these little books and there's different pages, but basically you get one of the cards, you roll a dice, and whatever the number corresponds to is what you have to draw, and there's 2 different sides to the card. So if I were to roll a 6, this one says skunk or fan mail, so basically you have to draw something that represents that. And then once your drawing's done, you pass it on to the next person, and the next person has to guess. And then they make their guess for the drawing, and then it goes to the next person, and the next person has to draw whatever that person guessed. So the point is to try to get the same thing around the entire circle, and you get a point for everyone that gets it right. Hopefully you understood from my explanation how it works, but if you're familiar with the telephone game, it's basically the same thing, but you're drawing stuff, and it's so much fun. I play it often. I really enjoy it. Highly recommend. And I think that anybody would enjoy this game, even if they're not a big board game person. I think this is really fun, and you don't even have to be a good drawer. The next game is Code Names, and similar to Telus Regions, you can get different versions of this, and this is one that we play frequently as well. I mean me and my friends. This one's a lot of fun as well, especially if you have a lot of people. So basically the way that the game works is that you have 2 different teams, and each team will have a code master. The code masters get this little guide, so you see there's red and blue tiles. Basically this corresponds to the words that are out on the board. Basically there's 25 words on the table. This is your guide to which words belong to your team. So if you're team blue, you're looking for which words match up with the blue tiles on this card, and then you have to try to get your team to guess the words without using any words that are on the board, and basically like correlating them together. So if you had, say, like a bunny and a horse were 2 of your words, you could say 2 words for animal, but you have to make sure that there's no other words on the board that could also correspond to animal, because then your team could guess the wrong word and either end the game or score points for the other team. So basically you're trying to get all the words before the other team does and not get the black tile, because that means the game's over. Hopefully that made sense what I said. It's really easy game today. It's a really easy game to play, so if I made it sound really complicated, it's not. But yeah, this one's great for having a bunch of people, because your teams can basically be as many people as you want. It says 2 to 8 plus, so literally you could have a bunch of people. So I really like this game. My friends really enjoy it as well, and I highly recommend picking this up. And again, this is another game that if everyone's not super into board games, I still think that it could be enjoyable for anybody. Next is this party game, which is one that we've just gotten recently. It's called Quick Wits, and it's basically a card game, and this one's good for a bunch of people as well. I'm going to try to explain this, but I really don't know if I'm going to do a good job. You can definitely look up any of these games online to see how they play if I'm not doing it justice, which more than likely I'm not. But basically you have different cards, and they all have different symbols on them, and they have different things. So you're going around the table and you're flipping over the cards to each person. So I would flip out this one, the next person would flip another card, yada yada yada. Basically the point is, as soon as someone, like if I have this music note card and then the next player lays a card and it also has a music note, I'm trying to get the one that has the same symbol as mine. So this one says foreign landmark, and I have to say a foreign landmark as quickly as I can to try to get this card. The other person who laid this can also say my card. So mine has concert venue, so they could say a concert venue before I get the chance to say the foreign landmark, and then they would get to take my card. Does that make sense? So obviously multiple people could have music notes. I'm just using this as a simple example, but whoever says whatever's on their card first. So like whoever would say the foreign landmark or the concert venue first would get the card. There's also ones that are linked cards, which basically means that these symbols are linked. So you don't necessarily have to have a money symbol in order to get the card. You can also have the drink symbol because this is the link. So that stays out on the table until a different link comes up, and basically that's how it goes. And you just keep going around until you're trying to get as many cards. I guess you can stop whenever you want. But yeah, you just go around and try to get as many cards as possible, and whoever has the most cards at the end of the game is the winner. This is a great party game, especially when you're out drinking and stuff. It takes a minute to get used to, but once you get a hang of it, it's a great laugh. I really like it, so highly recommend this as well. Like I said, this is new to me and I probably didn't explain it very well. I'll link down below information about these games and like video tutorials if you want to really know how to play them, because my explanations are probably not the best. Also, I'm a visual person, so I like seeing people play it. So if you're like that, just check the description box and hopefully you can understand better. But yeah, so this is a great party game. Again, another game that I think that you don't have to be super into board games or playing games to like this. I think it's just a quick, easy party game to play, and you can have, this is 3+, you literally could have as many people as you want it. Next, this is Adventure Time Munchkin. So there's a regular Munchkin. This is the Adventure Time version, and honestly, I think this one's way better than the original version. So I would highly, highly recommend you get this one, not the original, if you've never played before. This game is probably more for people that are into board games, but it's really, really fun. So that's another explanation that's probably not going to do it justice. Basically, you're different characters. So like if you're familiar with Adventure Time, this is BMO, and in the Adventure Time Munchkin, each character has a special ability. That's not always the case with regular Munchkin. So this is one thing that's different from regular Munchkin that I really like. So BMO, for example, you get a +2 bonus against monsters level 10 or below. So what you have to do in the game is pretty simple. There's 2 different decks of cards. There are the treasure cards, which has a treasure box on it, and there is the door cards, which has a door on it. To start your turn, you kick down the door, and so the objective is that you're trying to fight monsters and you're trying to get from level 1 to level 10. Whoever gets to level 10 first is the winner. And there's different cards, so like I'm not gonna go through all of them, but I'll just show you like a monster. So this is level 18. In order for me to fight this monster, I have to have higher than level 18 in order to beat him. So obviously, it only goes as high as level 10, but you can get different armor and different cards that will help you out. So like this one, for example, gives you a +5 bonus because it's a Armor of Zeldron. So basically, you lay this down with all your, like with your character card, and this is +5 on whatever level you are. So if I was level 2 and I had this, I would be 7, and that's 7 that I have to fight towards the monster. And you can build up as many of these as you want. You just can't have duplicate things. So I wouldn't be able to have 2 armor unless I have a card that said that I could have 2 armor, but you can have 2 arms, legs, shoes, boots, a bunch of different things. There's a lot of aspects to the game, but it's actually pretty easy to follow along once you realize what the cards mean. So yeah, if you're familiar with Adventure Time, obviously this ties in Adventure Time. All the characters are from Adventure Time, all the monsters are from Adventure Time. It's really, really fun. I really, really like this version of Munchkin. It's definitely my favorite version of Munchkin, but any version of Munchkin is really fun. It's a great game. Like I said, it's probably more geared towards people that actually like board games and play them often, but I still think that other people might enjoy it as well. You're basically just trying to build yourself up to have the most armor and stuff to help you fight the monsters, and like I said, you're trying to get to level 10. So again, don't know if I did this justice. Sorry guys for my horrible explaining, but I really like this game. And the last game is Ticket to Ride. There's also other versions of this. This is just the standard version, but you can get like Europe and different ones, and they're all great. There's different aspects in some of them, like Europe has a little bit extra, but the basic game is just as much fun. With this game, you basically get cards that give you different routes. So this one says like Denver to Pittsburgh. So you have a map and you're trying to build your route of trains from Denver to Pittsburgh so that you can get the points. So this card in particular is worth 11 points, and there's all different kinds depending on how long the route is and everything like that. And you're trying to get these colored trains. You want to match up the colored trains so to get the routes. I'll just show you on the back what what the map looks like. So basically this is the map here. So if I have Denver to Pittsburgh, I'm trying to get that on the map. So see how there's like six blue little spaces here. So if I wanted to put my trains here so that I could complete my route, I would have to get 6 blue cards, and then once I have the 6 blue cards, I'd be able to lay down that route. So basically each turn you're trying to pick up the colored cards that you need to complete your route so that you can get all the points that you want. And obviously the objective is to get to the most points at the end of the game. There's also other aspects to it. If you don't get your route, you'll lose the points, so you definitely want to try to complete them. And you start with 3, but you can pick up more, and it's a pretty simple game. You basically are just trying to collect colored cards so that you can complete your full route. I think this one's also really easy and could be for anybody, even if you're not super into board games. It's a standard game that's really easy to follow along, and you don't need to know that much about it. You also don't need to pay that much attention to it. Once you figure out which routes you're trying to get, you can kind of just mindlessly play. And yeah, really enjoy this one as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully I didn't like completely butcher how to play the games. Again, check the description box so that you'll know which games I talked about, and also I'll try to find like some kind of like YouTube videos or something that show you how to play them, because I probably didn't do a very good job. But hopefully there was a good range, and if you're looking to pick somebody, if you're looking for a gift for somebody, hopefully I give you some ideas. I really enjoy board games. I know a lot of people do as well, and I think these are good for a bunch of different ages and a bunch of different types of people, you know, depending on how into board games you are or not. And I think that's all I have to say. I'm basically just repeating myself. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I will also have a stocking stuffers video coming up, so that'll be beauty related. So if you're looking for some last minute beauty things to stock some stockings with, to stuff some stockings with, keep an eye out for that video. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.